Hi everyone, I'm Stacy and this is episode 11 of the Bargain Bandit. Today's date is August 27th, 2012, and it's the first day of school here in San Antonio, so it's pretty exciting. This will be the first time I've done one of these videos when my kids are not in the background making a bunch of noise that you may or may not have heard in last videos. So I'm pretty excited to be able to do these videos now in the quiet of my own home. Gotta go pick up the kids in a little bit, so I'm going to try and get through this stuff quick, but I have kind of an exciting group of items to show you about. I've sold a lot in the last week, and so I just picked a few. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, I'm going to do my top 3 favorite picks from the last weekend. So enjoy the episode. Thanks. The first set of items I'm going to talk about are items that were all purchased by one person. There was 2 different items in my store for Buy It Nows, and she went through my store and picked out what she wanted. She obviously saw one item she wanted. She saw I combined shipping, so she went and looked at the other things I had. So it's pretty good that I have a lot of items in my store, and she found something else she wanted as well. So I guess that's a lesson. You know, fill your store with stuff because you never know what people might buy if they're already buying one thing from you. And then another interesting thing about these items is that 2 of them, basically it's a set of 3 games. I've shipped her 3 games. It was from 2 different Buy It Now store items. One was a bundle of 2 games, and I bundled these. I bundled a game called Never Ending Stories from 1989. It was a kids game where you tell a story, and then the other one was called Twisted Tales, and it basically mixed up fairy tales, and kids had to fix them. They're kids games. They're for the imaginative child. That's what I put in my title, and that might have garnered her attention. So I tried to get a little creative in trying to bundle a couple of games that were creative, that were lesser known. These aren't games that people would necessarily search for, so I had to think of another way to sell the items. So I tried to get creative with my title, and by putting 2 games together, that also made it a little more appealing, I think. So Twisted Tales and Never Ending Story sold in one item, and then Mini Mind Mover 3 sold in the other. And I don't know which one drew her attention to my store, but she got the item already. She's very happy with them, so I'm very happy that she's happy with them. It's always good to get positive feedback, and so it's kind of neat that I bundled 2 items into one, sold it, had another item, I sold that too. These are not items that I thought would be easy sells. I thought that they might sit in my store for a while, so it's kind of cool that they sold as quick as they did, and I'm happy. I sold another game on Board Game Geek, yay! And this one was called Feudal. It was an old 3M bookshelf game. It had I've shown it before on a previous thing, but it had 2 sections. One you pulled out, and it had the game board, and then the other one had all the game pieces in it. It was an old game from the 70s. It was kind of neat, a little bit of a war strategy game. And I put it up on Board Game Geek. I put up some of my older vintage games on Board Game Geek because those might sell there as well as selling on eBay. So this one sold on Board Game Geek, and the guy's very happy with the item. He already told me that he got it, and he thanked me. So Board Game Geek is doing okay for me. Oh yeah, and Feudal was part of that previous lot that I told you about, that I picked up those 18 games for $34. So I sold yet another one from that lot, and I've got, I think I've sold 5 total from it for over $100. I bought it for 34 bucks. I still have 15 games left of it, so, or 13 games left. So that one is doing pretty well for me so far. So moving on, the next item is a pumpkin pie ceramic plate that I picked up with at a yard sale with a bunch of different types of oddball type things, and I thought it was neat because the top looks like a pumpkin. It's got a brown ceramic plate. I just thought it was neat, and she only wanted $1 for it, which is really cheap for any kind of ceramic anything. So I picked it up and I sold it at a Buy It Now. The person offered me just a few dollars less than what I was asking for, so it was an okay deal. The thing with Buy It Now is I've noticed is a lot of times people will really lowball me. They'll offer me half or more than half of what I'm actually asking for the item. And when I put a make an offer, on my buy it nows, I'm generally thinking, oh, I'll take 3, 4, maybe $5 less, not like $15 less. So it's kind of crazy sometimes how many offers I end up saying no to and not being able to negotiate a good deal with people because they're just like really lowballing me on their offers. So in some cases now, I'm not even bothering with offers. I'm just putting it up with a buy it now price of the price I really want for it. So, it's the offers thing. I'm still figuring everything out, and the offers thing is one of those things that I'm still kind of confused on. So, but I sold a pumpkin pie ceramic thing that's super cool. In the last episode, episode 10, I showed you some things that were my top 3 favorites, which is coming at the end of this episode, so just be patient. Picks of the previous weekend. And one of those things was the Ono deck of cards that I found inside Uno Deluxe in good condition, complete, excited to be able to sell one. And about 30 minutes after I finished the last video, before it had even uploaded, it had sold. Boom, gone. So Ono sold for a pretty good amount. They didn't even try and make me an offer or anything. They just took the price I had. It was in good condition, so I don't blame them. So Ono sells fast, like super fast. Like within a few minutes of putting it up, boom, gone. So that was kind of cool. Couple of videos ago, I talked about the Rider Tarot cards that I picked up. They were from 1971, old vintage tarot cards in really good condition, and I sold those. It was a negotiation back and forth, make an offer deal. I'm okay with the price I ended up with. I still think the guy was a little bit lowballing me because they are in really good condition. They're really unique cards. And everyone else is selling them for more, but I'm thinking to myself as I'm finishing the negotiation, one, maybe they'll buy something more for me in the future, become a regular customer, and two, I only paid 50 cents for them. So how greedy do I want to be? That was the question there. And granted, you want to get the most you can because you don't sell as much as you buy initially. Like right now, I'm buying, as you can see in my inventory, a lot more than I'm selling right now. So, but I still, I was willing to accept the price on the off chance that this person might become a regular customer, which is always a possibility, I suppose. So I sold the tarot cards. I was sad to see them go because they're cool, but gotta make some money. The last item I'm going to talk about before we get to my top 3 picks was the big red hot jalapeno pepper with a chef's hat on that I've shown a couple of times in these videos. It sold. It sold to somebody who's going to make a dog costume out of it. So they're going to rip the thing apart and turn it into something. Hopefully they'll send me a picture of the dog costume because that would be cool, with their dog in it and everything. But it's kind of a neat idea. I mean, I can see, it's a hot jalapeno pepper. It's big enough to put a small dog in. And, then it becomes a hot dog in a different way. Get it? Hot jalapeno dog. I thought it was cool. So I'm happy I finally sold that. It was a cool item. I liked looking at it. It wasn't something where I was like, oh, I need to sell that. It's such an eyesore. It was something I kind of liked having around because it was neat looking. I probably will never find anything like it again, but I'm happy to have sold it. And now it's time for my top 3. Woo! Okay, so I need to probably come up with some kind of idea for introducing my top 3, but I haven't done that yet. The first thing is this Leave It to Beaver book, Fire. It's dated 1962. It's got an inscription in it that actually locates it at Centerline, Michigan, which is kind of cool because I lived for 10 years in Michigan. I just moved here a few years ago. So go Michigan, go Tigers and Lions and Red Wings and Pistons. And Wolverines. We're Michigan fans in this house. Even though we grew up in Florida, we stayed Michigan fans. So, so the copyright there in 1962, kind of cool. Leave It to Beaver. In case you didn't know, it's based on the well-known television series. It says on the side an authorized TV adventure, so it's kind of cool. I only paid $1 for it. I feel like I rescued it because, the condition is not great, and if I'd let it, go, if I didn't buy it, they might have just thrown it in another box and like let it rot for years. It's got some discoloration on the pages. The binding is not in the best condition. But, for a buck, I thought, why not? And maybe we can get it to a collector who really will take good care of it. Um, the next thing I got was this, and it's German, Lasse Freude. Lasse Freude. I keep buying German things, and I know I don't speak the language very well, so I apologize. But Schüler Lasse something, Lasse Freude from Hahn and Oldenburg. It is a German game that I believe is supposed to teach the German language. From what I can tell, I haven't been able to tell much. It's got like this little board, double-sided. It's got the instructions in German, so I'm a little confused as to how it teaches German when the words are in German. I'm guessing it's some kind of game that a parent would read the instructions and play with their child to try and teach them German. But it's got all these little letter thingy-majiggies, and they're just slips of paper essentially, with all these different things, Schlatten, Ball, Heine, and then all the little things. So that was kind of cool. I got it with a lot of other games, so I didn't pay very much. I paid like less than $1 for it. But, I thought it was neat. One of my neat finds. And then finally, I'm trying to do this quickly so that this video isn't too long, is this. And it's another big item, I know. And it's kind of cool. It's an old vintage, definitely vintage, but I don't think it's, super vintage. I think maybe 1950s vintage. It's got the wooden back. The frame is in terrible condition. But somebody might want it just because of that, because it looks old and it's very, it's a very neat item. And it's neat because these pictures are of famous authors. You've got Bryant, Emerson, Holmes, Longfellow, Whittier, and Lowell. It's got some and damage, some staining, I guess that is, on the allergy has been holding this thing because it's got either dust or it's made of something I'm allergic to apparently. But it's got staining on the matting, but the pictures are all in really good condition. So that is my third find from my weekend. I thought that was neat. Hopefully somebody will buy it. I'm going to put it up with a $75 buy it now and see if it goes. Somebody else has got one similar but not quite exactly the same for $150, and I'm not sure $150 is a reasonable price. But I thought maybe 75 and see what happens. We'll see. So that's the end of the episode, and I thank you for watching again. Thank you to all my viewers and all my subscribers. Subscribe up here if you haven't subscribed already, because I really appreciate that. Like me down here, because I love being liked. Please leave me comments, and thank you to everyone who has left me a comment. I try and respond to them, as quickly as possible, and I love the comments, and I'm glad that people are enjoying the videos. So thank you for commenting that you're enjoying the videos. You can visit my eBay auctions, Kraus House of Cards and Games, and I have two websites, kraushouseofcards.com and kraushouseofcardsandgames.com. So go check out all my stuff. And thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. See you later, y'all. Y'all.